Alright, hello folks, and welcome back to Downstage Gaming. I'm your host, Josh, and this is part 50 of our Let's Play of The Letter. Now, I gotta be honest, I know we're pretty near the end, and I would very much like it if it was just a nice 50 episodes of this initial playthrough. So I might go long. We might go long today if we see the end in sight. We'll see. But when we last left off, we as Luke had sort of caught up with the climax that happened with Ash at the end of Ash's chapter. And we basically now had everybody that's still alive, so minus Zach and Rebecca, in the foyer of the mansion. We sort of had a confrontation with the ghoul, and then the ghoul sort of changed the entire mansion atmosphere into this sort of horror atmosphere. Some black tendrils came out through the front door, and maybe separated us, or otherwise brought us to, at least Luke, to this place. And so we're picking up basically right after that. Here we go. There's a moment of panic when the feeling of the tendrils around my limbs finally dissipates. As soon as my eyes adjust to the darkness of the room and I'm only on my feet, I'm reaching for my knife and holding it out, watching, waiting for every movement. Using it as a way to put distance between me and these peasants. Okay, so we are here with everyone. Why? I mean, in this situation, you really gotta let go of your prejudice here, Luke. Who knows what they'll do now? We're all desperate to get out of this house. They'll come after me. There's only 5 of us in this room. 2 of them friends at that. So we can say, I mean, obviously Hannah and I guess Marianne is the other one you're considering a friend? I cannot trust these people not to turn on me. Bloody hell, even Hannah's giving me the same look as them now. Though Mint has already gone loon, crouched in a corner and muttering to herself, you can't really say anyone's safe from her. If anything, she's the one I should watch out for. I cannot trust anyone. Not anymore. That's definitely the way to get out of this safely, is not trusting anyone. Not after this. Despite the pleading looks Lily shoots my way while they all huddle in the corner behind Feathers. But I have to remind myself that even people like her are capable of doing the unpleasant. Yeah, you should have seen what she did to your butler, my man. She's only human, after all. That's never an excuse why even Hannah has her cunning, manipulative moments, though she does it much subtler than I. Why else would Lily show this letter to us that day, if not to save herself? I think you have a pretty, I think you may have a misunderstanding on what's happened here, Luke. I guess that backfired on her now that she and her own friends are also stuck here. Still, I have every right to be livid. Everything that I have built has fallen apart. All because these people came into our lives.
You! All of you! This is all your fault!
It's good that we're keeping things level-headed, you know, we're gonna come up with a plan to get out of here, nice and calm.
If I die to this bloody case, I'm taking you all down.
I'll kill everyone in here!
Luke, please put that knife away. This isn't going to solve anything.
Well, thank you, Hannah.
Calm down, right?
I've missed you.
The situation's already bad. You're just making it worse.
You shut your mouth! If it weren't for you, for this letter, for all of you, none of this would have happened!
Is your life all that matters to you?
I mean, that's pretty clear, Hannah.
What about these people here? Don't they have the same problem? What about me, Luke? Do you even care?
Are you taking their side? You're also stuck in this nightmare, Hannah! That creature is out to get us, and you're still defending these people!
I mean, is it just the fact that Lily showed you the letter? Is that the only reason you...
I'm not defending anyone, Luke. I'm just trying to be reasonable when you're clearly not.
Oh, of course you're not. You're just the one who bought this bloody mansion to begin with. If I didn't know any better, you did this on purpose!
No, she did it because Lee said something about it.
Why, no. Why would I ever do that? This was only meant to be an anniversary gift. For you. For us. For the family we're going to have.
Right, anniversary gift. Oh, here's your gift, darling. Oh, by the way, there's a curse included in that package. I hope that's all right.
You starting to regret this marriage yet, Hannah? I mean, more so than you did before.
Are you really that eager to get rid of me, Hannah? Because if that's what you've been meaning to do all this time, you might as well just put a knife in my back while I...
Suddenly, Hannah steps up and slaps the knife from my hand. Said knife slides uselessly under the table, out of my reach. Before my mind registers what's happening, a sharp blow explodes in the side of my head, sending me reeling backwards. Yeah, now we're talking. Oh, hell yes! Yes! she merely stands before me afterwards, without even batting an eye, glaring at me as if she might just rip my head off in this instant. Sometimes I forget that Hannah's kind of a badass.
Don't you dare, Luke. Don't you dare imply I've ever thought of you that way.
Oh, get him, Hannah. Punch him some more, please. That Hannah is never the weak woman I believed her to be. Oh, that was satisfying. How did I come to think of her as such? She used to be someone I can look up to, isn't she? When you look at her now, the way she stands tall facing a man like me, a coward and a loser, the same way she has done all those years ago, I can't help but think, am I not responsible for taking the part of herself away from her? Enjoy your time as Mrs. Luke Wright. What a bunch of shite. Figures why she wants to leave me.
And these people are only trying to help us.
Oh, of course, by barging into our home. Are you really going to trust them to save your life? These peasants who brought this pox upon us.
You keep that rude mouth running, Whiskey, and see if any of us here will help you out of this place.
Yeah, let's just kill Luke and get out, move on with our lives.
Please stop! All of you stop this!
To hear Lily speak out loud, I can't say I'm not surprised. She has always given me the impression of someone so meek from the moment I've met her, either from her inexperience or her station in life. She has never struck me as someone fitting to be a real estate agent. If anything, that meltdown she had during the open house had only proven my assumptions. Until now. Quietly, she puts herself between me and Mint, cutting whatever scathing words we've yet to hurl at each other. The way she glares at me reminds me a little of the way my own mum would look at me, particularly when I've done something wrong. And it's not a stare she's unused to showing. She has done this before, probably to a younger sibling. Huh. I mean, I'll give you this, Luke. You're pretty good at reading people. Like, decently so. If she only sees us now as a pair of squabbling kids and not two mature adults, well, that's only to be expected. No doubt that's how she sees us. For a long moment, there's only silence in the room. Feathers, for all his guts, doesn't even dare break it, merely watching us. Where did all his bravado go now, huh? Well, now the one with the pants in the relationship is taking charge. Not that it matters when Lily starts speaking again, after some of the anger and tension has lifted from the room.
Stop this, please! With or without that damn piece of paper,
A deep breath. An exhale. And then she closes her eyes, a crease forming between her eyebrows, while she grips her hand tightly in front of her.
We still would have ended up in this mess.
The atmosphere that descends into the room right after that, admission is anything but pleasant. Can I call it that? An admission? It seems like it from the way her eyes nervously flick between her friend and I. She appears to know more than she lets on, and how she makes herself appear smaller after dropping that bomb on us doesn't sit quite well with me. And patience isn't something I don't have a luxury of having right now and bestowing upon other people. What else does this girl know? What else is she not telling us? Because from the looks of this, even her friend has no idea what she's talking about. Unwilling to wait, I grab her arm before she retreats without explanation, waving the letter still in my hand in front of her.
Ow! Sir, you're hurting me!
Hey,
What?
hands off her right.
Why would you still call this man sir after everything that's happened?
Fuck off, Feathers. I have questions for your friend, and she better have the answers.
Then stop taking it out on every single person.
Your friend is hiding something.
She struggles for a moment, but my hold eventually forces her to look up at me. Fear and uncertainty spread across her features, especially when her eyes land on the damned paper. As much as I want to be considerate right now, I want answers.
What do you mean, Lily?
I'm not sure about it.
Don't give me that. You know something.
Ow! Please, sir. I know the paper's useless, okay?
You know, I'd forgotten that, Luke and Hannah were Mr. and Miss Touchy way back when in, episode 3 or whatever. And here it comes back to bite us. At the mention of the letter, without warning, Mint snatches the paper out of my hand. It's a miracle it didn't rip right then and there. By the way she glares at it, I think she may want to do exactly that.
We should have gotten rid of this thing. We should have burned it at the first opportunity we got.
I mean, Isabella definitely should have done that. None of the rest of you really had reason to at the time.
No, even if we rip it to shreds, it won't do anything.
What has you convinced of that? Did you do it?
I think...
You don't know what I've seen, Santos.
You don't know the life I've lived. Have you ever been in love with a young blonde girl?
There were children, victims. All because they had no idea what this thing will do to them.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you
Oh
do know that,
God,
don't
those poor souls. They were screaming and begging before she...
Then what about those people they mentioned in the news lately? All those who died? My coworkers? The open house clients? None of them had seen it. Even Rose. And yet they're all dead.
you? I thought Rose had seen it.
I should know. That letter has been with me since I picked it up. And I swear I didn't make copies of this thing.
Yeah, so I'm glad we're finally getting to this. That, like, yeah, I don't think the letter is the key to all this.
Even if I wanted to save myself, I wouldn't do that to my friends. Or anyone.
Is that what the trip to BRC was for?
Yes, I'm sorry. I couldn't tell you guys until I was certain. None of you believed me the first time. I had to find proof.
And yet we're all here. Are you taking me for a fool, Lily?
I have to go with whiskey on this. Who knows how many has already seen this before you found it? This
That's true.
cursed thing has to go!
We would have ended up here either way. Maybe? I really don't know.
You can't say something confident and then immediately backtrack on it.
Sir, please. All I know is that paper isn't the reason why all of this is happening.
So what is the
There's
reason?
something else. Maybe it's this place that's the problem. Maybe it's this we should be getting rid of.
Burn the mansion.
What? You mean we burn this place down?
Yeah!
I still think we should get rid of this letter before we start thinking of destroying a place with some historical value!
I really don't think that's the main concern right now here, Marianne.
What? No! We are not burning a multi-million-pound mansion, you peasants! I just spent a fortune on this!
Well, is your life worth less?
Seriously, Luke, are you really more worried about that?
Buttercup, marching, millions. It's gonna take years getting all that money back.
Well, you certainly won't be getting any of that money if you're dead.
Thank you, Hannah.
Really, Luke? Is that more important than your life?
Bloody fucking hell! Not only do I have trespassers on my property, but they're also arsonists!
Can somebody just knock Luke out? I mean, I know that he's the perspective that we have right now, so that wouldn't be great, but, like, I think this would go along better if Luke was just passed out this entire time. How dare they suggest something like that? Bloody peasants. My head's already aching just listening to them. To think this is all the solution they can come up with. I should have just stabbed all of them and made a run for it. That would be a fun end. It doesn't help that with each second we spend talking here, the crazier this whole place gets. The voices have become louder, and somehow sounding more vicious. If the things in this room start floating, mark my words, I will fucking flip out. I cannot believe you have not already fucking flipped out, Luke. My man. Oh, we got a lot going on today now. I'll kill everyone in this room for no reason. And they may not be thinking of it right now, but eventually they'll turn on me. Such is the nature of humans. Better find a way out of this place as soon as possible if I want to stay alive. Fuck, I still have so much to do. I think I left the oven on. None of our choices seem sound, but who knows? We don't understand shite about this place. Might as well try everything, yeah? Burn it down, burn the letter, kill ourselves, let's do it all. Whatever works. If I also have to be the one to make that bloody decision, so be it. Less room for errors, with the only sane one doing the thinking. Oh yeah, definitely the only sane one here. On the off chance I'm wrong, well, they suggested it. I decide to... Okay. My feeling is Isabella is right. I think this has more to do with the mansion than it does the letter. That's my feeling. We're burning down the mansion. Here we go. I'm gonna regret this. I will. But with these cries growing louder, this has become the easiest decision I've ever made. I'm getting tired of hearing her sobbing, really. It's just irritating. Isn't she getting tired of it? Besides, someone has to act fast, think fast. And what else is the root cause of our problems but this place where the letter was found? No need to make things more complicated. It started here, why won't it end here? If what Lily has said is true, then there's all the more reason to destroy it. Put an end to this madness before someone thinks of putting this blasted place up in the market. When I get out of this place, I swear I'm suing a bunch of people. Run that estate company to the ground if need be. We spent millions, damn it. Millions! With a sigh, and perhaps a heavy heart, I open one of the drawers in my study table. Inside is a flamethrower. Taking a bottle of liquor out for myself, and passing it on to every occupant in the room. They accept it, but not without a look of protest or confused glance my way. It does shut them all up, so maybe I've done something good.
Luke, this isn't the time.
We're gonna have little cheers before we burn this mother to the ground. Even more when I pop the cork off the bottle and pour its contents on the floor.
Well, what are you simpletons waiting for?
We waste no time dousing the whole room, the smell of alcohol filling the air. If I didn't know any better, I'd say they're more than eager to set this whole place on fire. And the blaze catches easily in this room when I set it alight, using all blasted paper as kindling. Now, have we thought of an exit strategy, though? Because I didn't mean, like, burn this room. With the whole place drenched with wine and all manner of things, alcoholic, I've been hiding from Hannah, the small fire soon turns into an inferno. In a matter of seconds, we're out the door. It doesn't exactly lead where I'm hoping it will. I'm liking this new jam, though. Although ending up in the kitchen does give us more reason to play like a bunch of pyromaniacs. Fishing the liquor stocks on the cupboards, we also do the same thing we've done to the study. Door after door in every room we pass, pouring bottle after bottle of expensive, aged liquor and setting everything on fire, only leaving once the blaze has started in earnest. When we run out of liquor, we simply drop the bottle and take one off from many nooks I've stashed one. And there's no lack of it in here. The hard stuff, the shorts, the watered down kind. I like that finally Luke's terrible drinking habits are coming into play and of great benefit to us. Gifts from a distant relative, friends, so-called friends, you name it. I've made sure there's always one within reach.
How many of these things do you keep in this house?
That's not important right now, Feathers.
I always have a few bottles in the bedroom, you know, the parlor and the dining room.
You have problems, man.
That's true.
Well, isn't this the time to discuss them?
Turns out it'll be useful now. Not to drown out my sorrows, but for this. Wonders of wonders. Though I suppose I can now say that it has also saved my life. But there's no time for some introspection now, because with each room we pass and burn, the place also becomes easier to navigate. Remember, kids, develop a drinking problem, because one day it might save you from the ghosts. As if it's slowly righting itself, returning to what it's supposed to be. Soon, we finally find ourselves standing before the main door. The strong odor of burning wood, cloth, and varnish alike wafts from under the doors of the rooms we previously torched, slowly filling the hall with a thick black smoke. The blaze has also started in earnest in every part of the house. I can already feel the heat seeping from the rooms I've set aflame. In a matter of minutes, flames will engulf the whole house. Fittingly, that is when she appears again before us, watching us on the top of the stairs while the world goes up in flames around her. However, what catches my eyes is that expression on her face. Not the vile smile I've already grown accustomed to, or the one where her eyes gleam with complete hatred. This one? Forlorn is the only word I can think of to describe it.
Please, help me, please.
Can the dead still feel? Can she hear us? Or is that merely another one of her tricks to trap us in this nightmare? I mean, if you really wanted help, you went about it a very weird way, Takako. Like this, however, she seems almost like the woman she used to be. And I don't waste any time pondering over it. Not with the exit just a few steps away. The doors finally open, and through it I can glimpse the world outside. Safety. However, I do turn, if only to see the last of her. A farewell, more than anything. For all her attempts to lure me, draw me in, her wishes to be with me, she does not stop me when I finally run from this horrid place. Quietly, she disappears. Light it up, up. Watching a multi-million-pound house burn before me? For some reason, nothing about this bothers me. Maybe it's that one last look on her face that has changed it. Maybe it's what I've seen and heard inside. There's only a calm, a stillness. The same hush that comes after a terrible storm has swept the countryside. And with it is the sight of the sun rising above the horizon. Ever so slowly, the sky begins to lighten before my eyes. Darkness giving way to the warm morning hues, soft rays spilling over the vast expanse of Luxborn's countryside. Nearby, the trees sway and rustle with the breeze, a passing draft that carries even into this room from outside, cold enough to make me shiver. The remains of a storm that has passed. In the distance, I can hear the soft chirping of birds, while the rest of the world stirs, wakes. Dawn, at last. We are free. Wow, I got it. Whoopsies. I gotta take a look at the picture of the burning mansion, you know? I mean, I don't know if there was a right choice there, but I feel pretty good about burning it down, you know? Feeling pretty good about this. We'll see. Okay. Epilogue it is. Like the flames that engulfed the mansion that night, whispers quickly spread across Luxbourne City after the incident. Officers who investigated it have simply deemed it an unfortunate accident. Regardless of the truth, Luke Wright... Oh, so this probably isn't Luke Wright. I'll just do normal narrator voice then. Luke Wright files criminal charges against Briar Realty Corporation after, for undisclosed reasons to the public, forcing the latter to declare bankruptcy. A move that has merely stoked the rumors further. But for those who still believe in the stories of the old and those who know the truth, it is but a testament to the curse and the secrets the Ermengarde mansion has hidden for centuries. If there will come a time those will finally be revealed, only the ashes of the now ruined mansion know. However, on nights when the wind howls and thunder booms across the sky, some still claim hearing the voices where it once stood. Of cries and wails that fill the nights, and desperate calls of help for anyone who dares listen. As for those who once tread its halls... Oh, so we're getting a, like, Fallout style, like, slideshow of, what happened to the characters? Unable to settle their differences, Hannah Wright eventually files for a divorce from Luke Wright. Woo! Yeah! Oh, I hope you're all cheering at home, too. For several months, they become the subject of gossips in the mass media in the city. In spite of this, the two have uncharacteristically remained tight-lipped on the circumstances of their separation. Though many assumed it's the inevitable falling out stemming from the trouble during the couple's housewarming party. To everyone's surprise, however, Luke Wright quietly accepts the court's decision and disappears from the Evans heiress' life without creating much fuss. Even after Hannah Evans has given birth to their children months later, the man is rarely seen around the family, merely leaving his children paltry gifts in the mailbox whenever he's in town, never showing his face. Yeah, coward. Never show your face around here. With the Wrights couple separation also comes the Wright-Evans conglomerate split up. Although the Wright Enterprise still manages to do well in the business with Evans Incorporated back as a competitor, Other Tech Leaks places its CEO and the company under legal spotlight months later. This time, however, with the then Chief Inspector Harvey Lee's sudden absence, interesting, the businessman isn't able to escape close scrutiny. There's still something I'm suspicious about with Lee, and it's really only because he's the one who introduced the mansion to Hannah. But I don't know. In an investigation headed by LPD's Detective Inspector Ashton Frey, all of Wright Enterprise's illegal business dealings within the past 10 years come to light. Hey, good on you, Ash. Although his involvement with other crimes is still being investigated, the disclosure has caused a huge outcry, especially from the city's business sector. Sued on multiple grounds, the company is ultimately forced to shut down. Oddly, when Luke Wright steps out of his office one last time, there's only a small smile on his face. See, you hated it just as much as everyone. To avoid public outrage, the once affluent businessman immediately leaves the city. All of his bank accounts have been emptied, including his Luxbourne apartments, leaving not a single trace or clue where he might be hiding. Wow, great. The last anyone has seen of the man was on a flight bound for Ireland. Till this day, no one has heard from him. But tune in to the letter 2 when he makes his triumphant return. Not even Hannah Evans. Even his people from the old Wright Enterprise, who have all been left to deal with the aftermath. Though, over the past few months after the situation is calm, some have made claims of spotting him flitting in and out of the city. If only to check on those he has left behind. Following the company split, Hannah Evans reestablishes Evans Incorporated, becoming its CEO like her late father has always wanted for her. Yeah, Hannah! Though a bit out of practice and doubted by many people at first, the Evans heiress quickly finds her bearings and proves to be every bit as talented in business as her parents. Soon, under her management, the new Evans Inc. flourishes, becoming one of the prime investment and finance companies in Luxbourne City. Months after her recovery, Marion McCulloch heads back to her homeland, ready to close a chapter of a past she has left hanging for so long. There, she visits Lorraine's grave, asking for forgiveness from the girl she once loved, something she has intentionally avoided for years. Although the terror of what she has witnessed inside the Ermengarde mansion still clings to her, she bravely chooses to move on from it. Turning a new leaf by focusing on a new branch of her interior design company, and leaving her interior design company at Luxborn in the hands of her secretary instead. Although she never returns to the city after, she is frequently seen visiting to check on the people she has become acquainted with in her years there. Having finally accepted herself, she won't deny she's in a happier place now. Well, so far this is all going great. Everyone's happy. By some stroke of luck or an unfortunate circumstance of fate, Marianne encounters Luke Wright once again. Yeah, I would say unfortunate. Almost a year after she returned home. She meets the man in a local marketplace, newly settled, fumbling and confused. Although her opinion of him remains ambivalent at best, she reluctantly offers help. Especially after seeing him stumble on his Gaelic more times than she deems acceptable. And it becomes a start. Not to a close friendship by any means, but perhaps something akin to it. And on better days, when vitriol and scathing words don't get in the way, there's only the pleasant companionship one offers to the other. Casual visits to the other's home, sharing a bottle of wine or two, and simply talking about anything under the sun. A comfort after the things they can no longer have. Something they both eventually learn to appreciate with time. Okay, I like that. Despite making the Ireland branch of her interior design company her focus now, Marianne continues to cater to her most avid patrons in Luxborn when requested. And after her work on the Ermengarde mansion, Hannah Evans has never trusted another to handle the design for any of the places she owns. Upon moving back to Evans' mansion after her divorce, Marianne's name is the first thing she calls, and the woman is quick to fly back to the city at the socialite's summons. Not only helping with the decorations of the old place, but also assisting with the renovations, much to Hannah's delight. Since then, the two women have kept a close friendship and business relationship. Often, they can be seen going around town together when Marianne's in town, and the Evans heiress can be heard recommending the designer to her peers during parties. Some even may go so far as to say Hannah Evans has confided with Marianne McCulloch during the tumultuous time of her divorce with Luke Wright. Whatever the case is, one can't deny that both women have found a confidant in the other. Marianne playing both sides there. I like it. With her newfound courage, Isabella Santos finally chooses to pursue what she really wants for herself. Having made enough to keep her family afloat for a few years, and with their blessing, she quits her job at Briar Realty Corporation and takes the scholarship offer from the local university. Though remarkably out of practice and unsure if she'll be able to keep up by the time she returns to university, she finds her feet soon enough with help from people close to her. And with her confidence and her skills growing, so did the number of people recognizing her and her work. It doesn't take long for several award-giving bodies to take notice of her. For all her accomplishments, however, she has never truly forgotten what happened at the Ermengarde mansion, nor what she has lost. The images still remain in her, and on particularly unpleasant nights, terrors continue to visit her dreams. She knows those won't ever disappear from her life. It's become a part of her in the same way death has permanently taken from her. However, she's no longer afraid, and with a brave face, she carries on, earnestly wishing that someday she'll be able to paint brighter, more vivid thoughts on her canvas. An honest portrayal of life and hope amidst the fear. Aww. Following his success in bringing Luxborn firm case to a close, Ashton Frey finally gets his badge and gun back from the chief, and receives a recommendation for transfer to Luxborn's lead agency against organized crimes. An endorsement eagerly backed by the newly appointed successor to the late Chief Inspector Lee, Abigail Harris. Oh, so did Lee die? Perhaps also curse-related? Interesting. Knowing he'll have more resources, leeway, and a bigger chance at ultimately bringing Luke Wright to justice, Ashton Frey accepts. He still warns the people close to him against Wright and his associates, but only a friendly reminder now, more than anything. Though he does worry, he believes they are wise enough to know what they are doing and trust their judgment. For now, he's decided to leave the evidence and the law to speak for itself and take care of the man once the proper time comes. Nowadays, police work and operations keep him busy, sometimes taking him away from the city he grew up in for days on end. A rare thing for him to enjoy once upon a time, yet this time, he never loses his drive, simply growing more determined after having finally found a clear purpose close to the rush and excitement he dreamed of as a child. Although Ashton still keeps mum about specific details of his work, his experience with the curse has slowly taught him how to open up. especially to those he knows that genuinely care for him. He still has a long way to go, he knows that, but for the sake of the people who are still with him, those who have chosen to stay, as well as what he lost, he hopes that there will come a day when he no longer has to hide behind his own lies, a day when he is no longer afraid of facing the truth in his own words. Oh, this is the thing I'm most proud of in this playthrough. After a bit of fumbling, of a few missteps here and there, and moments of briefly allowing their uncertainties to hang over them, Ashton Frey and Isabella Santos finally finds a rhythm. And that rhythm is sweet. Theirs isn't a soaring love story by any means. It kinda sucks. Nor is it a happily ever after, often told in the picture books the girl has only ever dreamed of having in childhood. Far from it, in fact. The relationship sucks and they break up 2 weeks later, I guess. Jesus, I'm sorry. Despite when people glimpse their eyes or glean in their gestures, they both know better than to cling to ideals. A stranger will say they're in love. Hopelessly. Genuinely. And there is certainly truth in it. One only has to look. However, what they never see is this. Beyond the soft smiles, fleeting glances, and gentle touches only meant for the other, is a grief. A terror that never seems to lift, constantly filling their nights with echoes of an unforgiving wail and unwelcome dreams that stirs either awake in the darkest hours of dawn. It has never truly left them, and it never will. In the same way the light scar on Ashton's hand will never fully heal, or the horrid images in Isabella's mind will never fade. But they cope. In hushed whispers and tender reassurances, with light kisses and long embraces. When that no longer suffices, when the horrors become too much for them to bear, they have each other. A warmth to hold on to in the coldest of nights. And for them, it's more than enough. Wow. Alright, well, you know, looking at the end there, I mean, that's like a decently satisfying end that we achieved for, you know, what was a completely blind playthrough of my first sort of run through it. Okay, I knew it! I knew it! Bartender G, Officer Lee, and Father Norman, all by the same voice actor. Interesting. Okay. But yeah, I mean, so I feel like the burning down the mansion, I don't know what major difference that would make, but it seemed like that went pretty well, and I'm pretty happy where all those characters ended up. Nobody was really in a place that I'm like all that upset about, or had a relationship with another character that I felt was undue. Definitely glad that Hannah and Luke are separated. But I'm happy that Marianne is like weirdly friend to both of them. She's like that friend that was friends with both of the couple before, and now they're broken up. She's like still kind of friends with both of them, even though they're no longer together in any way. That's fun. Alright, well, as this kind of finishes up in the credits here, I guess it's time to talk about what's going to happen next. And so here's my thoughts on what's going to happen next. I think that because there's obviously a lot of stuff we haven't seen. Like, if you saw earlier in one of the episodes when I was looking at the flowcharts for, like, Ash and Luke, that stuff is crazy. There is a lot of stuff that we have not seen, and so I definitely want to see some of that. But I also know that some of that stuff you would have to go through so many times to actually see, and the differences would be pretty small in between. I also know that there is a true end to this game, and I know that I haven't seen it. So here's the plan. Starting on the next part, we are going to do what I'm going to refer to as the B-Sides playthrough. What that will mean is I'm going to go through the game from the beginning, starting at Isabella's first chapter again. And at each choice we get to, if it's a choice that I've already made before, I'm going to make the opposite choice, the B choice, whichever one I didn't pick. Okay? I'm skipping any dialogue that I've already seen going through this first playthrough. And if I get to a new choice, something that I haven't seen before, then I'm going to be able to treat it like it's a choice like I would this first playthrough, and pick whichever one I want. Alright? Then, once I'm done with that whole playthrough, going through the B-side, seeing all the different stuff that I haven't seen by choosing all of the opposite things I chose this first time, then we're gonna go through one more time, purposely doing what it's gonna take to get us to the true end. At that point, I will probably look up a guide. I know some vague things about kind of what needs to happen at this point, but I'll look up a guide of what exactly needs to be done so that we can see the true ending to this game, and we can know, hopefully get some truth to this mystery. Because obviously, there's a lot of things we still don't know. A lot of weird stuff about the whole thing at the end with Luke's blood. There's still a lot of things about the past that we don't know about with Charlotte. So I'm hoping that we can start getting some answers to that. Anyways, I'll shut up now for a little bit because this song is rocking. Also, I'm enjoying these messages.
People can lie, but my lone heart beats true.
Wait, what? What? Is this some meme? Oh, Hannah, that would be a fun... I don't know about Luke and Isabella, Marty. I don't know about that. That seems like a bad relationship. Hannah and Isabella I could see, but they don't really have that much time together. But if they did, you never know. Okay, is there something more here?
Teal? Where are you, Teal?
Oh, I don't like this.
Teal? Please? She's here! She's still here, Teal! Help me! Please!
What? Oh, that means you finished playing the game in one way or another. So something happened. Thank you for the time you spent. This game is a passion project more than anything, and we sincerely hope we delivered and bring you a one-of-a-kind visual novel experience. It certainly was one of a kind. The letter was the first of many visual novels coming from us. If you like what we did with this game and would like to support us, please take some time to click the button below to find out how. Thank you very much for everything. Let's talk soon. Alright, well, I'm sure you can find ways to... I'll look into this later. I'm not going to do it right now, though. Whew. Okay, so that's that then. Lord only knows what happened there. Yeah, I don't know if that was specific to the choices that we made there, resulting in Kylie there, or if that was just that always happens if you don't get, like, the true ending or something. I don't know. But anyways, we will be back next time with the beginning of our B-Sides playthrough. I look forward to you joining me for that one and seeing what we haven't seen yet, and seeing just how differently this stuff can go. Until then, this has been Downstage Gaming. I've been your host, Josh, and I will catch you all next time.